And it ain't gonna come overnight. You're gonna take the beat, you're gonna take this, you're gonna get knocked out, you're gonna get up, and you're gonna see if you got the right guy, When I hit you like, better watch out for your job. It'll be the best shot that you saw. When I hit you like, hits you like, when I hit you like, best protect your neck and jaw. When you fall, they're all apart. When I hit you like, hits you like, when I hit you like. You won't see me coming, face you can't escape. So while you running, something like a bullet, I'm supposed to gun it. Can't pull the trigger when I already done it. Love it or hate it, I'm losing patience. That also keeps me motivated. And sleep's a cousin, so they're related. You can stay asleep if you the best the day to say it. I'm no longer the person I was. Activate, start joking above. You see, you lost my respect, so I'm not touching the gloves. The thing is, I'm usually peaceful, but believe when push comes to shove, I no longer believe that we equals. You find out that I'm not the one. Better watch out for your job. It'll be the best shot that you saw. When I hit you like, hits you like, when I hit you like, could knock me out, but if I'm not dead, then you better believe I'm gonna get it again. As long as I breathe and I got this end, cause I'm fighting like creed and said it's the end, and said I got nothing left. I never accepted my L, my hell, I've been put to the test. I was never born with the nest on my chest, had to fight on screen, just sit with the best. I earned my stripes, had to learn to fight. Who are you to judge? You ain't earned the right. I did the overnights on top of overnights, despite that, you act like you owe this life. Nah, you don't know this cost, this life is earned through struggle and loss. Everybody wants to become the boss, and so they learn what it means to take charge. You'll be in the ring and all the dome. If you lose, you're on your own. But if you win, they bring the throne. That's what they know. When there's nowhere you can go, don't you flinch and don't you fold. Stand there toe to toe. When I pick you up, better watch out for your job. It'll be the best shot that you saw. When I hit you like, hits you like, when I hit you like, best protect your neck and jaw. When you fall, they're all apart. When I hit you like, hits you like, when I hit you like.
Hey, what's good, y'all? This is Voices of an Artist, Bossy V. Shout out to everybody that's doing their thing. You know how I do. Mental health is very important. I always promote that a lot. You need to always remember to utilize your voice. Make sure that you check on yourself, because sometimes we need to check on ourselves when we are going through things emotionally. As artists, as businesses, we always got to make sure we're okay physically, mentally. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Don't overstep. Don't overdo things if you know it's going to be becoming overwhelming. But never give up. I always say that. Also, those who are dealing with homeless, please get shelter. Seek shelter. 311 New York is known for that. I know there's other local listenings in your area, state. If you need help finding that, let me know. I don't mind helping. You know, I want to learn in the streets. It's a crazy world and very destructive world out there. And it's really, for me, if I have a peace of mind, I would love for y'all to get shelter if you need shelter. Also check on your neighbors, even your enemies. They always understand that be the better person, lead by example. And now further ado, I'm going to introduce this amazing artist I had met at Big Dreams concert. It was really dope to see him live. He actually threw me off with his excitement, his energy. It was just so infectious. No, it's in the motherfucking building. Hey.
How you living?
What is good? What is going on? Tell everybody about yourself. And let's start from the beginning of you being who you are today.
Yeah. No, it's really dope to be here. I appreciate the setup, the warm welcome, the build up. It's amazing. You know, like you said at the top of this, mental health, you know, is a big thing, and especially for myself. And that's sort of where all this, you know, really stems from in terms of my artistry. I started making music, honestly, really, really young. But you know, I started taking it seriously more so around, you know, 17, 18, when you're in those crucial years of, you know, finding yourself and developing yourself into, you know, who you're going to be for the rest of your life. Like around that age, you're constantly being asked questions like, you know, what do you want to do? You know, who do you want to be? All these things. And I knew for me, I wanted to be part of music. I wanted to be a performing artist specifically, and that's, you know, who I am today. So I started off with written poetry back in like 2014. You know, was doing poetry slams, you know, that whole nine, and was you know, really developing my craft around then. From there, I ended up transitioning into, you know, bringing my poetry into music, now putting music behind it. And it was a good transition, because a lot of that, you know, stage presence that I had to develop being behind, you know, a poetry slam where you don't have all these backing tracks going on, I had to become comfortable with myself, comfortable with the crowd, and comfortable being on stage. So yeah, so I transitioned from there to performing my music, but that, you know, core development of, you know, open mic poetry never really left. That is who I am today. I have to write from a place of rawness, write from a place of real, and write from a place of, you know, of life, and, you know, everyday struggles and that sort of thing. So that sort of energy that you see on stage is really a manifestation of all of that. I'm a high energy person, but that's because I hold it all in. I'm typically a reserved person off stage, and I know you saw that at the place. But once the music starts, all that like pent up, you know, being beaten down day after day, all that sort of energy is released into something constructive on stage, and I feel like that's why it pulls people in. So that's a level about myself.
Yes, I love it, because I was even trying to like calm myself. I was like, yo, he got me wanting to hype myself up. I was like, let me chill. I'm like, I
I
can't
saw
remind
you.
myself. And I was like, hold the camera, don't move. Hold the camera.
You had the best footage and the best angle, to be honest.
Yes,
Like,
that's what I was there for, because I wanted to get, and because I work with Katie, shout out to Katie, S Rock, and Ivy Productions, shout out their whole demeanor of what they've been doing for artists. Is I work with them a lot, and I love the fact what they do. So this is why we do business together, because the fact that their energy for artists is to do what they need to do, and the fact, you know, I like to do teamwork. You know, whatever I get, I'm going to give it to them, because I still have all y'all stuff. And I'm still waiting. I think they got my stuff. I'm gonna try to reach out to them again to give them everything. I took certain images, you know, because it's a memorable thing. You know, you want to have a memorable moment, and that was perfect. I took you when you was like, and I was like, yes, God, this is perfect.
no, it was awesome. Like, you can't have something called the Big Dreams concert and like not have all that crazy footage of people pursuing their dreams and seeing it all the way through. Like, the fact that it was titled that, honestly, like, spoke a lot to myself, and I'm sure it spoke to yourself too. I saw you performing as well. You have a great voice, by the way. It was really dope.
Thank you. I appreciate you, because I'm very diverse. I don't just do R&B. I do hip hop. I do rock. I do a lot of people don't know my rock side though.
You gotta bring it out. You gotta bring it out.
Yes, I'm going to wait till they see that new transition.
Let's go.
That's my other side. I love Guar. I love, oh my God, it's so much like Slipknot, Metallica, all these amazing musicians, and to know someone that actually gives that vibe like you, just like them, it's really dope.
Yeah, no, that's such a huge compliment, you know, for real, especially because, you know, I'm primarily, for those who don't know, I'm an alternative hip hop artist, and that obviously covers a wide array of music. So the best way I can sort of describe it is like JID meets Linkin Park, and I definitely lean towards that rock side. So the fact that like just my hip hop performance with the alternative, you know, vehicle gave you those sort of inspirations, like that
Yeah.
speaks volumes, and that's so cool to me. So I appreciate that.
Yes, of course, and I totally mean it because like you give me that vibe. Like
Yeah.
nobody understands. Like if anybody into music, like we are, like really in trying to like really be into the music, they would know the diversity in a lot of freaking
Yeah.
songs. You
Yeah.
wouldn't know someone who does hip hop and suddenly went into just heavy metal rock. You wouldn't even know that because the transition fits so well. It's like, whoa, no fucking way you was doing this other thing.
Yeah. I just love hybrid genres. Like I grew up on one of my favorite bands that sort of got me into music and made me realize that, like, you know what, the impact they had on me, I want to do that for everyone else. That band is 21 Pilots, and they are like the definition, especially as they were coming up, of hybrid music. They sort of threw out the book on how you're supposed to write certain genres of songs, and they just wrote what they were feeling in the moment. So one moment they're doing like a hip hop record, and now the hip hop records transition into like a reggae record, and now the reggae records transitioned into a rock record, or now it's a pop record. Like it was a whole set of things. So I try to bring that same sort of chaos and energy and appreciation to the art form in every song that I put together, and especially in the performances. Like that's my home. Being on stage is my home. Interacting with everyone, you know, out in the crowd is home to me. And that 30 minutes that I have them, however long my set is, you know, they're family to me, and it's great kind of seeing them get as excited as me when I'm on stage. So it's dope. It's dope.
That's definitely important. It was really nice to experience that because I haven't went to, like, everybody always asks me, do I have I ever been to like any type of concert? To be honest, I have not. I have not been into concerts. Yeah, I
You
have
need to
not. Seeing that, it was just like, oh shit, I'm in a fucking concert.
go. Let's go. That's exactly what I try to do everywhere I go. Like it does not matter the venue. Like I want it to feel like, nah, you're not just watching a performance. You're part of an experience. You're part of a concert. Like, you know, you're gonna make memories when you walk out the door. Like that is everything to me. So that's so cool that you had that experience.
Yes, and I appreciate you for sharing all that. You know, it's in the industry, you know, people don't understand why we are called independent is because we independently are investing in a lot of things. We're investing on how we perform, we've been investing in how we present ourselves as someone who's not only being the entertainment, but also being an inspirational one.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say that, hey, shout out to everybody. I just came in. I see some of your people's in here. Some of my people's in here. What's good, bro? I see you. Welcome to Voices of an Artist. If y'all knew, this is No. He's a wonderful artist with many hats because I know he got a lot of things going on. We're about to chime in with that. When it comes to your creativity in your music, describe your typical description of what you create in your music.
Yeah. So it's always a tough way to sort of boil it down, but the best way I could, you know, really describe it is I just pull inspiration from life, whatever's going on, you know, in my life at that moment, whether it's a mood, a lesson I need to work through, an event that happened that I just need to get on paper, and really see through to the end so that I can really evaluate that emotion. And once it's, you know, written out in a way that I can express continually, you know, through performances or putting it out on, you know, all these streaming platforms, that emotion, you know, it leaves my shoulders. So, you know, the creativity definitely really stems from a real place. When people listen to my music, I feel as though that they're getting a snapshot and a lens to where I'm at in that moment. And it's not really like even like a self-centric sort of thing. It's more so like, you know, if you can find pieces of yourself in the experiences that I'm sharing, you know, I hope you do. And I hope that the lessons or struggles that I'm depicting, helps you work through the emotion the same way writing it down has for me. So that's where the creativity really stems from. It starts with the life experience. I jot it in my notes app, actually, on my phone. I put down, whatever vibe, emotion, feeling, whatever, just sort of to stem from. And then from there, I work with like a number of producers in the area or online that hit me up on Instagram, and we work through and chop it up to create the vision and bring it to life, the best way possible, so that you catch that vibe at a show and you're able to rock out, let your hair roll and just have a good time. So that's really where the creativity stems from, for real.
Oh, that's really dope. Now, I always get into these conversations, and I hope you're ready for them. I promote, as you heard in the beginning, I promote a lot of emotional,
Mhm.
conditions and disorders, because there's different kinds. Everybody always get it twisted. It's mental disorders. It's not just one disorder. There's different type of disorders.
Mhm.
When it comes to dealing with a lot,
Mhm.
as an artist, how do you deal with the process of wanting
Mhm.
to create a song, and then you're going through your own personal emotions? Like, how are you feeling when it
Mhm.
comes to that, like your emotions towards your personal life and
Mhm.
your music life?
Um, it sometimes can be, because I write from a very real place, it sometimes can be, sort of a burden, to make sure that I live in the emotion, for however long it takes to write it, so that it comes out, as authentic as possible. Growing up, I used to be very mind over matter. Any sort of situation that would happen, like I was oftentimes bullied when I was younger, and I would do the whole like, oh, I'm just gonna let it roll off my shoulder, I'm just gonna let it roll off my shoulder. Yo, MLM, what's up? That's my peoples. I love y'all, for real. All right, but back to it. Yeah, I was bullied a lot, growing up, and I would try to do the whole let it roll off my shoulder, let it roll off my shoulder. And for a short period of time that worked. And especially being, a male, you're not really given the opportunity, or space where you could be emotional. That's not something you could share, especially when you go back to like the early 2000s, and stuff like that. You shared any sort of emotion, it's seen as weakness. You got called names or anything like that. So I held a lot in, and I try to let it roll off my shoulder. And over time, that's just not how life works. You really do need to dive deep into that emotion and be willing to live in it for a little bit. It is something that I'm still learning. It is something that I'm still working through, because life is ever evolving. There's always a challenge that you haven't come across yet, and that's both the beauty and pain of life, is that there's more experiences. And so, when it comes to the music, I try to really live in those experiences however long I can, to make sure that it paints the picture that's necessary, not only for the song, but for the listener, so that they can grab whatever they want to feel from it, whether it's, happiness, sadness, anger, depression, whatever they want to pull from it, they're able to escape into that world. And for those 3 minutes and 30 seconds that I have you in that song, you forget everything else and you're able to just live in it, because that's what's helped me. So it's an ever growing experience, for real.
Amen to that. See,
Yeah.
that's why I say, it's expression comes with a lot,
Yeah.
and if you can do it in writing and music, and I'm glad you brought up that you did poetry. Like, that's a big thing. People don't understand where the writing comes from. It doesn't
Mhm.
randomly, oh, hey, I'm just gonna write a word. No, it's more than that. It's the poetry level. Y'all need to get into poetry. Y'all listening out there that don't know what poetry is, y'all need to get into spoken word and poetry, because this is where it comes from. And the actual to produce it into a music. Who does produce their music and so forth? Shout out your producers and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So I've worked with a number of producers. Most recently, the record that everyone really likes is Unchecked. That was produced by my good friend Matty Beats. Matty Beats. So big shout out to him. Xylo. He's an amazing producer based out of Connecticut. He helped produce the record that's When Life Hits You. And then early in my career, and no matter what, like even if those songs I don't really revisit from time to time, without those songs it wouldn't be who I am today. So definitely big shout out to Will Stenson, who helped make some of my early records, back when all of this, the red hair and all the jewelry and stuff wasn't really there yet. He helped bring the vision to life so that I can create the songs that I'm doing today. Marty McFly from 9-2 helped me make Trust the Process. So big love to him. And then this other producer that I know, Jacob, big love to y'all. So I work with a number of producers. It really comes down to the sound that I'm trying to build. So it's a plethora, and I guess that's what keeps the music diverse,
Of course. It's always good to dip in the pool, different lakes, that's what I call, to try it out, because you want to get the best production that you deserve, of course. Now, this track that I recently played, what's the inspiration behind it? And I know you've been doing a lot. When Life Hits You, what is the inspiration behind that?
Yeah. So the inspiration behind that, it all pulls from, just really the title, like When Life Hits You. You never know when that moment's gonna come where you're just knocked down. It could be something as small as your car broke down on the side of the road and you really got to try to work through it and deal with it. You're on your way to a job interview that you've been dying to get for this whole time so that you can get out of your parents' place and stuff like that, and your car breaks down on the way there and life just really hits you. Or it could go all the way to you lost a close loved one, a close family member, and you have to work through that struggle. You never know how life is going to hit you and when life is going to hit you. But what you do know and what you can control is how you react to that, and know that you do have the strength to persevere and overcome no matter what. It might not happen in a day, it might not happen in a week, it might not happen in a year, but over time, just know you do have the strength to keep fighting back. And that's really what that song it is about. And it pulls a lot of inspirations, from being in like a boxing ring. So I watched, the Creed films, I watched, the Rocky films, and just tried to like live in that world for a little bit as an inspiration when I wrote the record. Because again, like the best way I could think about it is like you're trapped in the ring with life. You're constantly in a toe-to-toe battle with life. You're trapped in the ring, and there's no escaping it. There's no pushing out. So you got to be willing to get off the ropes and fight back, and never give up. So that's where that record really comes from.
I hear that because I was wondering, I'm like, there has to be some history, because there's always history behind a song. Some can explain their history, but some can't. And the way you explained it makes sense about the title. Because I always say, you have to match your title of your song. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Because I always wanted to know. It helps me grow too as an artist, because, maybe I need to do something different. You know what I'm saying? So I like to learn from people, and I always ask questions.
We're constantly, I learned from everybody. Like I'm a sponge to every and any possible life experience I could have. It does not matter if you're, freaking Bill Gates or the president. It doesn't matter if you're the janitor. Like I'm gonna learn some life experiences from you, because everyone has something to offer.
Yeah, amen to that. Now, we already know how social media is. How do you feel the internet has impacted the music business for you?
Um, it's a very interesting, dilemma. And I think dilemma is honestly the best word I could pick for right now. And it's because you constantly have to ride that line of, are you a musician or are you an influencer? And I feel as though that the audience says they want musicians, but who they accept and who they push and who they promote is an influencer. And that's why you get these, quote unquote artists who are extremely good marketers. Like, I will give them all credit through the world that they're very, very good at marketing. Their team is very, very good at marketing. They're so good at leveraging the power of social media, because it is a power and it is a skill set. So I don't say this from a place of, envy or hate or anything like that. You have to be really skilled to understand how to leverage social media. But I will say that we can't get it twisted. There's a difference between a musician and an influencer, and that line is definitely being blurred. And I find myself walking that line as an artist. When I create my content, am I creating the music because it is coming from a real place, because I want to do these things? Am I doing this sort of, video because I like doing this style of video? Or am I trying to do a skit because I know that it markets well, even though it doesn't really fit into my, brand or what I'm trying to build here? So it's a constant teeter, but I'll say that social media really did blur the line between musician and influencer. And it's tough to see which is which sometimes.
It really is, because I feel like I'm over it.
I can tell by your tone.
I'm over social media, to be honest. I love doing music. I don't know how long I'm gonna be doing this, but I know I'm gonna be doing this for a long time. But at the same time, I'm just over social media because
Yeah.
like people just be doing too much, and it's not even the regular people. It's the people that are trying to get into business, and it's
Yeah.
like it's a cutthroat world.
Mhm.
Yes, granted, but why are we cutting each other?
That honestly, amen. Like you said that beautifully, because it is very interesting. I think it really does change depending on what area you're from, and how much, how high up the hierarchy of this business are you in. Because you could go to certain areas and they're very much so, welcoming. They want to hand out opportunities. They want to they see something in you. They want to hand out certain things because, there's power in community. But then, sometimes I love New York, don't get me wrong. But sometimes in New York, there could be a little bit of that gatekeeping, where it's adversarial, where we're competing against each other rather than competing with each other. And I'm just here to say that there's enough audience for everybody. Like, there's 8 billion people in the world. There's enough audience for everybody. So, if you rock with somebody, it's okay to say you rock with somebody. Like, you'll see mad artists at these events that like will not stand in the front row. You'll see, a certain artist get an accolade and like they're hating in the comments, and it's like that's really what it's not about. Like, you can't big up them because they did something cool, like, and you could learn from that. So yeah, it's frustrating sometimes.
That's it really is, because I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna be all in your face. Hey, I like your shit.
You really were, though. You really were. You gave that
I'm really
energy, and I love it.
Yes, I like, that's how I am. I like to get to know people. Like, I like to get to know who they are and where they stand in their music career. Like, do they need a little help? Do they need encouragement? Because sometimes you never freaking know. You never know who that person is. I'm not Bill Gates, Don't get me wrong, but I'll get the message across. I'll tell you that.
Right. It
You
doesn't
know?
matter where you are. Like, your voice has a place in this world. And like, I just
Yes.
don't understand why people feel the need to silence, or hate on certain voices. Like, just let it live. If it's not something you rock with, it's okay. Move on. But that doesn't mean you need to try to put them down,
Exactly. That's why this podcast I named it this way, Voices of an Artist. Is the point of to have a platform to utilize your voice where you can be yourself. You can
Yes.
talk shit all you want. We could talk about the stars, the moon, the fucking foot in the door. We can talk
That's
about
right.
whatever. You feel what I'm saying? So you can be
Yeah.
yourself. All
That's
agendas is welcome. Doesn't matter. You could be in a fucking ballet. I don't care. So
It's
we're
you.
gonna make some shit pop. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I always ask that question about social media because every artist deal with different things in social
Mhm.
media. I mean, social media can be very toxic at times, and
Mhm.
sometimes you want to turn the shit off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like it's like damn if you do, damn if you don't. It's like TV, but
Mhm.
you're just using your finger to scroll.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get down that rabbit hole really quick, especially with TikTok. I find myself, I'll be sitting just like, oh, I'm gonna kill some 5 minutes. I mean, let me scroll for a second. 5 minutes ended up turning into like 20 or 30, and now I'm on to some like random video I didn't even really start on. I'm trying to get better at that because I'm trying to do better living in the moment. And also I'm trying not to get caught in the comments because, like you said, people can be a little toxic in the comments rather than just on. They feel the need to try to tear you down. And how I respond to that is always the same. Like, thank you for the engagement, because it's not like TikTok is gonna, read whether or not it was a hateful comment or whether it was a good comment. The comment is a comment. So you commenting, appreciate you. You just only help reach more people that do rock with me. So
How you like TikTok? You're all over TikTok. I know you are. I know you are because I watch. Listen, y'all. He's everywhere. Okay, when we say Google me, it fucking means what we mean because he's everywhere.
Google me. I'm out there. That's why I spell my name the way I do, because I'm glad that 18-year-old me, when I came up with the name, actually really 16, when I came up with the name, that I spelled it the way I did, because it was always the first one you saw when you searched me. So search it up. But yeah, TikTok. I'll admit I'm on the older Gen Z side, so I'm still figuring it out. But I'm starting to find my groove. I'm starting to find my niche, and it's a ever up and down experience. And the one thing that I've had to to terms with, and I say this to every artist and creator that's out there, any artist that's done anything on TikTok, they get a lot of hate in their comments, and guess what? They keep going. And because they keep going, they find the people that really, really do rock with them. So don't let that one comment, that one stitch, that one, roast or whatever, that people feel like, oh, they got you. Like, no, you didn't get me. You gave me an opportunity to share with more people. So don't stop. And so I'm starting to do better at letting it roll, but it's tough. It's tough. I won't lie. I'm still human,
I like TikTok. Don't get me wrong. I did my thing on TikTok. I finally reached my peak on the followers and stuff like that, and I'm very proud of that. But the one thing I don't like is that is that all I'm freaking seeing is everybody being a whole emotional hospital. I promote mental health heavy, but I just don't like seeing people on social media pretty much on lives crying, and that just rubs me the wrong way. And some of them are not seekers, attention seekers and stuff, or whatever the fuck you want to call that shit. But that I don't like that, because I just feel like every life should be private. If you need someone to talk to, that's not the place to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you
Mm-hmm.
have kids on there, because TikTok was normally
Yeah.
just for kids having fun. You know,
Yeah.
now it's like I see grown people on there having a whole
Mm-hmm.
emotional breakdown, and
Mm-hmm.
it's become disgusting and messy on TikTok. I
Yeah.
pull myself back from it a lot because of
Mm-hmm.
that. Because everybody was hitting me up, and all I saw was them crying on their videos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is not the place, you know?
Yeah, no, there's definitely like, express yourself for sure, but there's a place like, you wanna share like your lives to understand that for other people to realize that they're not alone, really. Like you want to
Yeah.
share that, but at the same time, there's that line of like, you don't want to invite the entire world to your personal undergoings, because at the
Mhm.
end of the day, like you invite the world, you invite a lot of opinions, and some of those opinions might not be the best ones for you.
Yeah.
And your experience isn't monolithic to everybody else's experience. So yeah, definitely, like there's that line. Now if you're approaching it from the state of like, hey, I just went through this, it was a tough thing in my life,
Mhm.
like, this is how I got through it, that's a different stance. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's almost like remember back in the day when people used to like trauma dump on like their Facebook status or their
Yes.
MySpace, it just looking for those
God,
sympathy, like,
MySpace.
yeah,
My, oh my God,
yeah.
I feel so old. MySpace.
I know. I was on MySpace. Honestly, I'm not sure if this ages you at all, but I was on MySpace when I
Oh,
was like, what, like 8, 9? I wasn't supposed to be on there for real, but um,
I normally don't tell my age, but I am 41 years old. And
oh, real. I would have never guessed. I honestly thought
yes,
you were more so like 29. I was getting that vibe.
no, I live like I'm 29.
Well, you look good. You look good.
Thank you. Thank
No
you.
problem. Keep
Thank
killing
you. Yes, I'm 41, and that shit took me way back. When like, I used to fuck with the graphics and shit.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
the graphics? Oh my God, that was such a bitch to fucking use because you had to put certain codes in
Yeah,
it.
you had to know how to code a little bit. And what I would do, because obviously I was like 8, what I would do is I would copy code from people and be like, yo, I like this design. I would legit copy paste and just put it in. And like I had like all this cool stuff going on. To be honest, I kind of miss it. Like Facebook is a
Yeah.
little stale. I kind of miss it,
Yeah, because Facebook is too much restrictions now. Before when this shit before it came along, MySpace was just it was we
Yeah,
got to put whatever the fuck we want on our pages with no
that's right.
interruptions.
That's
And
right.
now you got all these guidelines. Oh, you can't play this, you can't play that, and it's like, but you don't stop other shit from stop playing. I don't
That's
follow you.
right. Yeah, it's a pick and choose thing for sure, and it's a constant battle because like you'll see one post that's like completely fine, and then you'll do like a similar post, and for some reason yours gets flagged and taken down, and yeah, social media is a constant battle for real.
Yeah, it really is. Especially, how did you feel about the shutdown that happened recently?
Oh, what happened? What was it? What was that one?
Yeah,
Facebook and Instagram?
everybody, it was Instagram and Facebook. Apparently, I didn't have trouble with Instagram. It was Facebook I was having problems with.
Yeah, I
But
remember I got logged out of my Instagram, and I was like, it was right around the time I was supposed to post, because like how you can keep track of like your peak hours. So it was right around the time I was supposed to post, and went to go sign in, and I couldn't get in. I was just locked out. So yeah, I didn't know that it was like an actual legitimate like shutdown.
Yeah, it was a whole shutdown. I thought so too. I was cursing out my past haters. You should have saw me. I was like these motherfuckers.
Oh no.
I was like this. Yo, I was cursing out a storm.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
yo, they got me fucked up.
That's wild.
I changed my shit like 3 times. I'm like, how you gonna tell me that's not it?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I even had
Oh,
that password saved and it was like not getting me in. So till finally I just like looked it up and I was like, yo, is Instagram down? And I just saw like, you know, those outage websites that like keep track of like things out. I just saw spikes at the time that I was looking it up and I was like, oh, okay. So it's not just me. It's not just me.
No, yeah, and then you got these fucking people like, oh, yeah, crying over social media. You know what? Go somewhere. Because if it was you, like the fuck, we have a life. No, my fault you don't.
Yeah, we got a business to run, you know?
Yes.
Like, that's right.
They hate us talking about. I'm like, oh, here comes sorry, my auntie named Karen in here.
Oh God.
Here comes another Karen.
That's wild. That's wild.
No offense, my aunt here.
Yeah, just let me live. Let me live.
Oh my god, yeah, he's MLM Entertainment. Shout out to them. They said Tom was my first friend, besties.
Yeah, that's right. Those are my people. Big love to MLM Entertainment. That's the label I'm part of. Got a whole roster of just like freaking amazing talent run by one of the greatest people I know, Mike Loco. So big love to my family, Migs, Lady Bree, Joey Flats, Sad Boy, Amanda, like Ghost, everybody and anybody who's involved, associated with MLM. Like it's been such a blessing to be part of them since I joined back in, what was that? I think it was September I joined, and it's been nothing but a blessing, to be with them. They really do push me as artists, and it touches back to what we were talking about earlier of we just big up each other. Like, Miggs gets a huge accolade. I'm not sitting there like, oh, why'd he get the award and not me? I'm like, yo, good for you. Like, that's so dope. And then vice versa. So like, it's great being with them and being part of the community and just having like literally like a family of support through this, because before I didn't have those people, so it's been a blessing.
That's the way it's supposed to be, and I like to hear that because not many can say, "Oh, well, my team is my family, my team is my this," because a lot of motherfuckers nowadays just they put "I" in team instead of "we." It's a community.
That's right.
Understand? It's no "I" in team.
That's right. Yeah, one of us win, we all win. Like, I look back at anybody who's broken it. Like, you go back to like NWA. Like they weren't like one person. Like they were a whole group, and then they came up as a group, and then they did their solo careers because they helped build each other up. And then you fast forward like G Unit. Like, you had 50 leading the pack. And then, he brought up Lloyd Banks, Tony Ayo, Young Buck, like everybody. Then you had, Eminem with D12. And then you have, Young Money, the whole Young Money, tribe that's over there. Like, they were each like, you had the lead person, and then they reached back and grabbed the rest of their family. So if one of us win, we all win. And that's sort of the philosophy you got to have.
Yeah, amen to that. You have to have that. And I love that for you. Shout out to them for, accepting a amazing person like you who's willing to work and do your thing, because it takes a lot for a company, a label itself growing, and then actually getting the person to help grow with.
Yeah.
And it's really dope that they accepted you and and put you in as, hey, this is my brother, this is my family, and that's really dope. I appreciate them, and I'm gonna say I'm proud of you as much. I don't know you that long, but I feel like I know you forever. if
I
that makes sense.
appreciate that. No, likewise. You have a familiar energy, and I just think it comes down to the genuineness. Like you can feel the history with somebody just based on like the vibe and genuine conversation you're having with them. So likewise, I know for a fact, like, this ain't the last conversation we're ever gonna have. Like, this
No.
more conversations. There's gonna be more events, more opportunities that we can all share with each other. So this is the start of something
Yes.
special. So everyone watching, I love y'all. You're definitely watching something special.
Yes, there's gonna be a lot of things going on with Voices of an Artist. I definitely those who have I interviewed, shout out to them. All you guys are going to be part of this big event that I'm planning. It's a showcase event, but it's not only for artists; it's also for businesses too. So any podcasters that are out there, they could come in and chime in and get their interviews with each and everybody on their platform, in every platform they have, and also vendors. I want them to come and show off. And it's gonna be like a how you say, like a Mardi Gras type of style. The festival. It's gonna be really dope. Like, I'm really excited about it. So it's all in the plan. It's all in the making. Not now, y'all.
You piqued my interest. I'm
It's gonna be really dope. I'm like super excited about it because I have amazing businesses that I deal with that I feel like we can make this shit big, like infectious. I wanted to make it very infectious for a lot of artists, so they could be at a platform where they could just chill, like, oh shit, I worked with that person before. Like, I want them to get entwined and get into the networking development, because it's also going to be for artists too. Artist development too going to be there. So it's going to be a lot of good things, and I really want you to be a part of it. Your whole crew, they're more than welcome to come in, and do things. So whatever T-shirts they got going on. I know you guys got merch going on and stuff like that. So you have to bring that to the showcase and stuff like that, and hey, y'all can make money there. The showcase is going to be free.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, cool.
So the food is going to be free because I'm going to have a caterer. The catering is going to be there. Photography is going to be there too, because that's going to be paid for. So each artist, they'll get a package deal where they have a whole thing. And me personally, I'm going to pay for your packages. So that way y'all have free stuff to come to you in your email. That's how it is. We make money. We're all gonna make money. You know what I'm saying?
You're a real one for that, because like you definitely, especially obviously you've been around the New York scene for some time as well. Like you hear that payola, that pay to play, like so the fact that you're putting on something like that for the community, I definitely think myself, I know I have high interest in this, and I definitely think the rest of the MLM crew would 100% be down for something like that. So definitely keep us in the loop, because we'll love to be there, rock out with you, the community, and just push the brand and push each other. It's gonna be great.
Yes, because I want to get because mental health is going to be part of the whole connection awareness. So I'm going to bring all that there. We're going to donate to mental health. There's going to be also other causes like cancer and stuff like that. So y'all can be able to get entwined with your community and do something for the cause as well. It's going to be really inspirational to me. It is going to, because I really wanted to do something like this in a long time, since I was a kid. That's how long.
That's great.
Yes, and I want you to be part of it. Also, we're also going to have global listening for artists like yourself and me, but it's more really about y'all, because it's not about me, okay? It's about y'all, and I'm going to make sure y'all get global streaming worldwide as well. And it's all free of charge, because this is my thank you for being you and not giving up. Because if I find out you give up, I'm going to be in your inbox. I'm letting you know.
Hey, I appreciate that. Hold me accountable.
Yes, I'm like, what are you doing? No, that's not what you're doing.
Just give us the date, the time, and that sounds amazing. Especially trying to support some amazing causes. Like, definitely want to be in there and do everything we can.
Yes, amen to that. And now we're gonna get into, okay, what is your favorite venue you ever performed at?
Ooh.
Have a favorite. We all have favorites, okay?
We do. Oh my, it's so cool that like I'm at the point in my career where I can start to like list off venues.
Yes.
Uh that's a good one. That's a good one. Um, I have to try to separate favorite venue from favorite show I performed because those are two different things. I
Yes.
I think favorite venue,
Mm-hmm.
only because I love big concert stages,
Mm-hmm.
is the Webster in Connecticut, in Hartford, Connecticut. I got to perform the main stage there when I opened for Cameron, which was like that was a lot earlier in my career. It was like one of the greatest experiences of my life because it was the first time that like I had a full big stage. Like you saw me, like we were
Mm-hmm.
at the Big Dreams concert,
Yeah.
and I had a smaller area to work with. So just imagine if I had a full stage to really like run up and down, like jump down into the crowd, have a good time. Like
Yes. I would have
I
had to I would have had to have been on those strings just to capture those moments.
yeah, yeah. So I love concert venues, so I would have to say that one. But just to tap on it, because one of my favorite shows I've ever been a
Yes.
part of is the one I did at Bar Frida, opening for my now family Mix 718. For the Everybody Gets Wasted concert. That was super dope because it was the first sold out crowd I ever performed to. Like when I tell you from front to back, shoulder to shoulder, like that's what it was. It was so dope. And to take the songs that I created right here, like this is my home studio. Like this ain't some backdrop. Like I record here. So to take the songs that I, wrote here and rock it out there in a sold out crowd, everyone had their lights up. Like it was an unreal experience. So to me, that's still like one of my favorite shows I've ever performed.
That's awesome. Like, did you ever have like a fan moment when you did that show? Like, what was it like? Like, yes, do tell. I see it in your face. Do tell.
I did. It was really cool because like both those shows. So the one I did at the Webster in Connecticut, I got off the stage. Obviously, no one really knew who I was. I was opening for Cameron. Everyone was there for Cameron. But I jump off the stage and like these group of women walked up to me. They were like, I came here for Cameron, but like I feel good after watching you. Like that was an amazing show. Like I love you. Like and they were hugging me and like asking all about my music and stuff like that. So it was like to me that was like the coolest like fan out moment.
Yeah.
Another one that happened after that was I signed my first like autograph. It
Oh,
was it was like super cool. I did my first headlining show at this
mhm.
venue called the Outlet for the Arts in Torrington, Connecticut. Big love to Torrington. They were one of the first towns that showed me love. Big love to Chaz, who's the owner of the Outlet for the Arts. Again, one of the first people who were like, I like what your vision, I like what you do. He opened up his facility. And then big love to NWO Sparrow, who helped put together all the marketing push for that my first headlining show, because again we had that place packed. At that show I wore a white mask for my Trust the Process record, and I threw it out into the crowd at the opening of my first song, and then at the end when I got off stage, this kid walked up to me. They're like, oh my God, I never heard of you before. You're amazing. Can you sign this mask? Can you sign it? And I was like, you want me to sign? So it was like the coolest thing to like have my first autograph. So like I had to figure out what I wanted my artist signature to be because I never
Yeah.
thought of that. So I signed it, gave it to him. So like that was another really cool fan moment. So
Oh wow, that's no, that's really good to like. I tell everybody, it's always good to live in your most amazing moments, especially like that. Like that's a moment for you because it's like I'm still trying to figure out how to sign too.
yeah, like I have my like my obviously my government name down pat.
Yeah,
I got that. Been practicing that since 3rd grade. Like that's okay.
Yeah, like
But
yeah.
like my artist name, I'm trying to figure that out. It's still a little messy. It's gonna go through a couple iterations. So, you know, I might even be like, who is it? Will Smith, he does this. He signs different. So he changes his signature every couple years. So that if somebody ever approaches him with like something else or whatever, he can tell like, oh, I signed this back in like 1990 something because I used this type of signature back then. So I might want to do something like that because that's actually a pretty cool touch.
Yeah, until you get older and then you start having dementia. You don't want to do that. You gotta be careful with that.
One first. Let me figure out the one first before I figure out the
Yeah, you don't want to be going through that at a certain age. It's like, wait, hold on. Did I really write this shit?
That's too much.
I know what you mean. I'm still working on that too.
Yeah.
You said about the venue. Okay. So when it comes to the venues you've been dealing with, like have you had like fallouts in certain times when you had to go to events and it didn't go your way? Like how did you feel about that? Because we don't talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. We always talk about like the big wins, but like no one like no one really talks about like the times where like, you know, you go out and it just doesn't work out your way. One of the big ones was early on in my career. I signed up for this show. It was on my college campus. And it was my time to go up. Me and my now fiance, you know, she was my girlfriend at the time. I go up, and when I tell you, I touched the stage, and everyone left. Everyone left. Like it was me, the DJ, and you know my now fiance, just out in the crowd. I legit performed. I got up there, and obviously I was extremely discouraged. You know, I went to share my art, and no one's there. And I came to the conclusion at that moment that no show could ever get worse than that. No moment that I felt in that moment could ever be worse than that. So I performed my heart out, even though it was just her in the crowd. I performed my heart out like it was still 100-person, 500-person venue. Like it didn't matter to me. I just performed my heart out, and that sort of attitude, you know, helped me. So to the people that have had that bad show, it happens to the best of us. It happens to all of us, and it only makes you stronger because that chip on my shoulder, you know, that I walk on stage with, you know, still lives, and the appreciation that I have for the crowd that rocks out with me is like through the roof. So yeah, that moment was definitely low, but it formed into a big high.
What do you do in those moments, like when stuff like that happens? Because you know, afterwards you go home, you're just chilling, and it's like, damn, what the fuck? It's like a what the fuck moment. So, like, how, like, when you go home, like, how do you feel after all that? Like, do you feel the same as you was before, or did it change when you knew it was gonna be over?
Yeah, it's interesting because like I got home and of course I feel defeated. And that's why I'm thankful I have my, you know, fiance Aria, who is a rock in that moment because I definitely feel defeated. You know, you have that give up moment, and what ends up happening is I wake up the next day and my hunger didn't leave though. So although I felt like I wanted to give up, the instinct in my body didn't. It was my mind wasn't agreeing with my body. My body still had more in me. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna listen to it and I'm gonna figure out, okay, what could I do better? What could I do different? Was it how I approached the stage? Was it was it not even me? Was it the marketing of the show? How can I make my performance better? I just instantly went into dissect mode to figure out what I could do differently to make sure that moving forward, that moment never occurs. And even if it does, it's not going to break me the way it did that day, because I'm stronger and better for it no matter what. So, yeah.
Amen to that. See, you hear that, y'all. You need to understand, as an artist, we're gonna have our wins. Yeah, well, granted, that's great to celebrate. But what they don't really understand is that we also have moments where we're gonna deal with shit that is like, what the fuck?
Mhm.
But it's okay. It's okay to
Yeah.
have moments like that because it's a growth spurt. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? How humans grow, right?
Yeah.
It's like when it comes to decisions in the business and how to deal with the business aspect of it, you have to have your fails and your winners circle.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then from there, you grow from what you should have done better. That's
Yeah.
how it is. And
Yeah.
sometimes half the shit don't make sense when you deal with shit at showcases and venues. It be like, okay, that's not how I was told, but all right.
Yeah,
So
I'm realizing like you just gotta roll with the punches more than half the time, you know. Be adaptable is one of the biggest things. And another big advice that I always give anytime we get into this topic. So for any artist or creative out there, the best thing you can do to separate yourself from everybody else in the pack is just be on time. You know, if somebody tells you, hey, sound check is at 7, get there for 6:45. Like I will tell you, I kept getting invited back, not just because of my performance, but because I was easy to work with. They knew that I will invite you and you will do everything in your power to be as professional as possible. Like if your job's asking you to sign in at like 9 a.m., like you're gonna wake for your job. You're going to wake up for somebody else. Make sure you wake up for you. Make sure you're on point for you. Because if you want this as a career, being on time is the biggest separator for you. So,
what is your favorite song to perform? I know you have a favorite.
um, that's so tough. You hit me with the tough ones for sure.
Yeah.
Um, Honestly, I'd have to say Unchecked. Now that we got a full band rocking with it, it's like a whole nother level. It was the last song I performed at the show that you saw me at.
Hmm.
Which that one was a backing track. Just wait until you see it with the full band because it's a whole nother thing. So I gotta give big love to Crown Kiat for rocking the drums. Big love to another one of my good friends, Key Story, who's an artist in her own right, but she rocked out on the bass for me. And then Tristan, rocked out on the guitar, and of course, Migs was supporting me with the turntable. So yeah, just wait till you hear with the full band. It's a whole nother level.
I can't wait. Yeah, because I remember you was testing it out in Big Streams. You was testing it out, and I loved it. I'm like, yes. See, I was kind of nervous of testing any type of new songs
Mhm.
that I didn't release yet.
Mhm.
You actually gave me the courage to want to do that now, because before I wasn't even like, I was like, nah, wait till the album comes out.
Test it. It's one of the best things you can do. The worst thing that's gonna happen is you'll get live feedback. That's what I love about testing a record. You'll get live feedback. If they're bobbing their head and they're rocking with it, okay, then I'm in the right direction. If you're not really catching the same vibe you were getting on the other songs that do well, then maybe you gotta go back to the drawing board and figure out how you need to rearrange this song. So it's a live feedback. So I'm happy I inspired you to do so.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hearing some of your unreleased stuff.
Yes, I have a lot of
Yeah.
these. I try to promote it little by little, but I try to focus on one song. Like, I got two songs that, actually three songs that are supposed to be on the album, but I'm just gonna probably leave Whisper. I'm gonna probably leave Whisper for another album,
Gotcha.
particularly. But that one particularly I love, and then there's other tracks that you guys, well, you heard actually at the concert. Talk Sex, that's actually out
Mm.
right now. And I'm gonna do a video for it, but that's part of the album that I'm working on, and
Oh yeah.
that, I'm excited about it to get the reactions for that song. So I already know what's gonna happen with that album.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Nah,
Definitely want to test
I'm
out.
excited to hear it. I'm excited to see the video. I'm
Yes,
curious what vision you're gonna go for it.
Yes, it's like every time I learn from artists like you and businesses, it gives me an encouragement to want to step up my game in the way I want it. Because before I was the shy next door girl. Now it's like I'm full blown
Yeah,
throttle. Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Yes, and I love the fact that I can get that inspiration from you and other people that I work with, and it's
Yeah.
just so they know that like I do listen,
No, I
And
appreciate that.
now
I
this
really
track, I'm
do.
about to play one of your songs for you. I'm gonna play this one called Unchecked. That's the one we was actually talking about
Oh yeah.
before. Let's get a little history when it comes to this track. Like, give me a little history about this song in particularly. What was it
Yeah,
inspired and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, so the history with this song, this one I did get the opportunity to work with Maddie Beats. He produced that one. He I did a TikTok challenge of his, and he rocked with my sound, and we connected from there. And he produced the record. So I told him I wanted to go more in the rock vein because my performance style has always been that way. Although my records were still trying to find their lane, my performance style was always rock inspired, and even in my delivery. So I worked with him to sort of put together sonically what I wanted it to sound like. But in terms of like the story behind the record, I, it's about like sort of my greatest gift and my greatest curse is that I overthink things. I can think things to the umpteenth degree. That typically means I'm well prepared. But at the same time, I can get analysis paralysis where I don't make a move at all because I'm overthinking it. So the song is really about trying to find that balance of, going for it. But when I go for it and I don't think it through, I get burned. So it's like, although that part of me I hate, don't leave me unchecked. Like always double check me, check myself to make sure that I'm making the best decision in every way possible. And then it's a vibe. It's a vibe. Like you want to let your hair rock out. So,
Yes,
that,
thank God I got long hair. I could just check.
yeah.
Yeah, God, we're about to get into this track. Y'all follow. I have all his social media on the screen, so y'all check him out for real, for real. He's a super dope person to get to know, and as you know, if y'all just chiming in, you can always come back to this clip because it's really nice to know different artists, especially with different sounds, their own unique self. So we're about to get into this track called Unchecked by KNOWTE. Let's get it.
Don't you ever leave me unchecked. God bless, I just need a break from my head and my stress. Not until the day that I'm dead. I'll rest. Don't you know everything I said means less? Don't you ever leave me unchecked. The silence, I'm used to the noise, I'm used to the violence, I'm used to the rise, I'm used to the dines, I'm used to the quiet. You used to be quiet, you need to be quiet. I'm trying to think. You said it should stop and trust my instincts. My heart and my mind, no longer mistakes. I'm afraid if I do this to be gone in a blink. Cause that's what happens when you're no longer there. Yeah, I want you to stop, but when you stop, I am scared. I've gotten used to the madness, that's how I know that you care. And that you truly see me, so please don't you ever leave me unchecked. God bless, I just need a break from my head and my stress. Not until the day that I'm dead. I'll rest, don't you know everything I say means less. Don't you ever leave me unchecked. God bless, I just need a break from my head and my stress. When I go to sleep in my bed, I'll rest, don't you know everything I say means less. Don't you ever leave me. Yeah. paradise, that faded dive, but I'm dead inside. All of my faults feel sad device. Reruns my mind, speak one at a time. I'm fine. The voices they cry. You should listen, but through the distance, I can't trust me. Will you just sit in and tell me I'm wrong? Nigga, but choose to prison, nigga, but choose to hurt. If I do it works, you don't think I would do that first? I've searched your earth, I've learned this word. You can sit, complain, or reverse the curse, and return to merge. It's the best version you've earned, deserved. It's your turn to turn the tables. Yeah, I'm a stable. You best make sure this shot is fatal. There go my pride, the reason to die. I wanted to die. Yeah, I tried. Look to the sky, now I wouldn't mind. I wanted to fly. Yeah, I tried. He gave it clear, the way to the mirror, tied to big eyes. Yeah, I tried. Yeah, I've tried. Yeah, I've tried to say my goodbye. So don't leave me unchecked, unrest, and unwell. Upset, obsessed, you can't tell. At least I hope I can't fail. Cause if I do, it's true, I raise hell. So don't ever leave me unchecked. God bless, I just need a break from my head and my stress. Not until the day that I'm dead. I'll rest, don't you know everything I say means less. Don't you ever leave me unchecked. God bless, I just need a break from my head and my stress. When I go to sleep in my bed, I'll rest, don't you know everything in my head means less. Don't you ever leave me unchecked.
We gotta play that shit again. Hold up. Back up. Here we go. Unchecked. What? Come on.
Don't you ever leave me unchecked. God bless, I just need a break from my head and my stress. Not until the day that I'm dead. I'll rest, don't you know everything I said means less. Don't you ever leave me unchecked. The silence, I'm used to the noise, I'm used to the violence, I'm used to the rise, I'm used to the dance, not used to the quiet. You used to be quiet, you need to be quiet. I'm trying to think, you said it should stop and trust my instincts. My heart and my mind, no longer mistakes. I'm afraid if I do this to be gone in a blink. Cause that's what happens when you're no longer there. Yeah, I want you to stop, but when you stop, I am scared. I've gotten used to the madness, that's how I know that you care and that you truly see me. So please, don't you ever leave me unchecked. God bless, I just need a break from my head and my stress. Not until the day that I'm dead. I'll rest, don't you know everything I say means less. Don't you ever leave me unchecked. God bless, I just need a break from my head and my stress. When I go to sleep in my bed, I'll rest, don't you know everything in my head means less. Don't you ever leave me. Yeah. Paradise, that faded dive, but I'm dead inside. All of my faults feel sad device. Reruns my mind, speak one at a time. I'm fine. The voices they cry. You should listen, but through the distance, I can't trust me. Will you just sit in and tell me I'm wrong? Nigga, but choose to prison, nigga, but choose to hurt. If I do it works, you don't think I would do that first? I've searched your earth, I've learned this word. You can sit, complain, or reverse the curse, and return to merge. It's the best version you've earned, deserved. It's your turn to turn the tables. Yeah, I'm a stable. You best make sure this shot is fatal. There go my pride, the reason to die. I wanted to die. Yeah. Just got out with mind, I wanted to fly. Yeah, I've tried. He gave it clear, the way to the mirror, tied to big eyes. Yeah, I've tried. Yeah, I've tried. Yeah, I've tried to say my goodbye. So don't leave me unchecked, unrest, and unwell. Upset, obsessed, you can't tell. At least I hope I can't fail. Cause if I do, it's true, I raise hell. So don't ever leave me unchecked. God bless, I just need a break from my head and my stress. Not until the day that I'm dead. I'll rest, don't you know everything I say means less. Don't you ever leave me unchecked. God bless, I just need a break from my head and my stress. When I go to sleep in my bed, I'll rest, don't you know everything in my head means less. Don't you ever leave me unchecked.
What? That shit don't hype you up. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Play what? That's right there gonna be on my cleaning playlist. Thank you.
Wow. I'm glad to give you that dirty
music.
Washing the dishes and you being like,
Yeah. All the fucking soaps is coming in my hair.
That's crazy.
I can see it too. My daughter came over here. She was because I listen to all music. So
Yes.
it's never just one type of genre. So I listen to all kinds in my house. And she came in here rocking it out. She was
Awesome.
jumping.
For the fans. For the fans.
Yes.
Right.
She had me dying because I'm over here drinking my juice, and I turn around and she's just jumping.
That's
Oh
awesome.
my God.
So
Like,
awesome.
yeah, Mom, what you listening to? Oh
Is that
my
why you
God.
spun it again?
Yes, because I was like, we gotta do this shit again.
That's awesome. That's
Yes,
so
I
good.
love it. What
Thank
was
you.
the best advice that was given to you?
The best advice, to be honest, that was ever given to me
And it
was
stuck with
when,
you.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go with artist advice that I've gotten because life advice I'm trying to think through. But the best artist advice I've ever gotten was from NWO Sparrow. He's one of the first people that took a shot on me. And he was the first person when I was showing him my music that said, "You're not a hip hop artist." He told me, "You're not a hip hop artist. You're a rock artist." And I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yes, you are a rock artist. You need to stop trying to be a hip hop artist. You need to stop trying to, you know, reach the hip hop audience because that's not your crowd." And that was so interesting to me because up till that point, I was like, at that time I was listening to like a lot of like, you know, Logic's, Futuristic, NF, like that whole thing. And so I was really, you know, inspired from, you know, hip hop artists. And I was trying to be that like, you know, guy that, you know, people hear the line and they go, ooh, you know, and I realized just with my performance style and how I deliver my music. And after that conversation, that wasn't me. And he's the one that sort of pushed me in the direction of where I am today with, you know, really pulling more rock elements in not only my attire, which now I feel the most comfortable I've ever felt in my life, but in my music as well. So definitely that was the best artist advice I received. The best life advice that I've ever received honestly goes back to my father. I grew up playing football, and one of the speeches he would always give at the start of every season was that you could be the hammer or you could be the nail. You could either allow these outside forces to place you where they want you to be. You could let these outside forces, you know, hit on you and beat on you, or you could fight back, and choose to be the hammer and choose to dictate and build exactly what you want out of life. So honestly, shout outs to Father Note, you know, really setting me with that determination early on.
Amen to that. Shout out to him, the inspiration, our parents. There you go. See? Yeah, because it's like the rock and roll, it's from back in the day. We're going to talk some history. So it's like the mid 1950s and it evolved by the mid 1960s.
Yes.
So a lot of people don't understand the history of it. And sometimes coming into a style like that and the now, it's like, where can I evolve in that? Because there's so much hip hop, and I love hip hop. That's my shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they don't realize that hip hop was in rock too.
Yeah. No, hip hop and rock have a lot of parallels. They were both genres that was birthed out of rebellion. And those will always be very close together. And that's why you have records, like Run DMC, where they did their rock record, or you're also seeing Eminem, one of the best to do it all time. He samples rock records, and it's because there's a lot of overlap. They're both genres that were built out of rebellion. And what a lot of people don't also realize or seem to forget is rock was and still is Black music. We helped create that foundation. And so we can't forget that influence. And I think it's honestly coming back around. You see more and more artists at least pull from rock culture or add rock elements. Like, I never, before 2015, 2016, I never saw mosh pits at a rap concert. Now you go to a Travis Scott show and it's like a rock and roll like festival, so it's coming back around.
Yeah, it is, because it's like rock in terms of hip hop is about 35 to 40 years into existence.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really get into the history, it's two different agendas, but at the same time, if you really, really get into your history, they're about the same.
Yeah.
They're about the same. Yeah. And a lot of people don't understand that it's like between like the mid late 2010s and early 2020s, it's like rock music was observed by the hip hop as the most popular genre in the United States. So when you look at that, it's like, holy shit, I didn't even know that. Like, it really was entwined with hip hop. And even though you are trying to put a trend in to what is now, it still can manifest a lot of people's minds to be like, wow, this actually fucking rocks for real, and we not get bored y'all with that history, but let me tell you, I know my motherfucking history.
You could even, I'm sure you could school me on some things. So
yeah, there's a lot. Like, if you really like look up rock and hip hop and all these different type of sounds that y'all just hearing now, that's just been out. It's been out. It's just nobody really resurfaced it like that, because back then it was about sex, drugs, and all that shit. There was a lot of craziness going on back then, but you still made a hit record.
Yeah.
And nowadays,
life experience.
It's not like back then. This agenda now is confusing, because they don't know where they're coming or going.
I'm just riding the wave and doing what I do best, which is just write music that I enjoy, that I think other people would also enjoy, and just creating the best live show I can, because that's what I write the music for. I write it for the live performance. So
yes, amen to that. As long as you stay in your own lane, don't worry about. My advice to you is, do not stay in other people's lanes. You can ride the wave, but stay in your own lane. Always remember who you are as a person. Don't ever try to separate yourself and say, oh shit, well, no, it's okay. Be yourself. Don't worry about the next gender. Don't worry about none of that. Worry about you and what you're bringing to the table. Because most likely, all this shit that you're hearing now is going to come into the category of what you're doing right now. Because if you look back at it, it's going to be like, oh shit, I did that fucking in the 20, you'll be like, yo, in the 2000, where the fuck you been?
It all circles, right? History repeats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And just be yourself. Be who you want to be. Don't let nobody, this shit world that's coming out with these regular wannabes. Don't. That's what I call them.
Regular. You're gonna get me using it in my everyday vocabulary.
Yeah, that's my favorite word.
Regular. That's awesome.
Yes, and other favorite word is it's a medical term. It's language barriers. So that's actually the word I like. I have two favorite words, y'all. So it's regular and language barriers. Okay.
There it is.
So just know I want you to be yourself. I
Well,
absorb your energy in so many ways, and I love it. And I love the fact that you're who you are today and tomorrow and so forth, because you're gonna keep pushing yourself. And
yeah,
I'm gonna make sure I check on you every freaking time I see you on. You good? You all
yeah.
right?
Please do.
I'm gonna make sure. Yes,
And
because
likewise.
we
And
go.
likewise.
Yes. Yes, we here. We here. You ever want to come back and chill on this show? Come back. You know what I'm saying?
I
I
will.
want you to
I
tell
will.
you anytime. You could bring some of your peoples on here too, because I could hold up to like 10 or 8 people. So we
That's
could all
awesome.
just, yes, we could
We
bullshit
could
and talk.
over.
Yes, hell yeah. What?
That was cool.
Oh my God. Yeah, I want you to be able to understand that I'm not a judgmental person, and I'm very heartfelt and genuine, and I want to see you succeed.
Thank
I
you.
want you to be able to wake up every day and say, I'm here.
Thank you.
So remind yourself every day. Promise me that you're going to remind yourself every day that I'm here.
I
I'm,
promise. No, that hits real. Thank
I'm
you.
here. Okay?
Yeah.
You're welcome. And I want you to smile like you've been doing. I see you so, I love all your reels because I watch all your reels.
Thank
Yeah, he has reels that are so inspirational. I love it. Keep
thank you.
pushing the word out
I
because I'm
will.
gonna help you motivate yourself. I'm gonna make sure you get what you need. You need me to promote anything, just
Mhm.
hit me up like, yo, V, this is what's got going on. Boom. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna shoot it out. You know I be sharing like fucking 4 o'clock in
You
the fucking
do.
morning.
You do.
It's
I,
like, yo,
I
she
get
don't
the
sleep.
DMs all the time.
Yeah. She's like, she don't sleep. Nope.
No, for real. But we need people like you, and I, I appreciate that, and just know that like the support goes both ways. If there's anything we can take away from this conversation we've had, it's definitely community. Leaning on one another. So 100%. If you ever need anything, you're looking for some artists you want to talk to, you want to hop on an event, stuff like that. Like we put together events as well, at a bunch of venues. You could definitely
Yeah,
be one
let
of
me know. I'm here to
well,
come, and I'll do finishes for you if you need an extra cameraman.
hell yeah. Hell
You
yeah.
got
Hell
I'm there. I love to see everybody succeed, and it helps me be happy. Everybody always wonder, like, you're so humble and you're so happy. I am a happy person until you get
yeah.
on my bad side. But
That's
I try
right.
not to bring that side out. I'm very
Just don't pull that side out of me,
Yes, exactly. And I'm very humble and genuine. And all I want to do is make a person smile. If I could live on this earth for as much as amount of time to have an infectious motivation to have someone like you be inspired, I'm going to do it. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm here for. And
Right.
I'm happy to share all my musical family businesses that I deal with you because I
Oh,
feel like you got the potential. And
thank you.
they gotta let me know. QS Radio, shout out to QS Traffic Light. He's dope. I don't know if you heard of him, but he is super, super dope. He actually introduced me to a lot of people,
Oh
such
yeah.
as Katie. I met Katie there. I met from him, and I met Karen Bondon, which she's like an aunt to me because I call her my auntie. I met her. I met a lot of amazing people from him, and it's really nice to present him to you as well because if you're not doing anything next month, I'm
Mhm.
going to pay for your interview with him.
Oh wow.
Um,
That'd be
yeah,
amazing.
he's a really dope person. His
Yeah.
radio station, he's a radio station because don't let him hear you say a show because he be like, excuse me.
It's noted. I got you.
Just let me know the dates you're available because you're a busy man. Because I seen your roster, your updates, and your concerts coming
Thank
up. Because I just talk about that. Tell them
Yeah.
about new upcoming stuff.
Yeah. So, 100%. I'll let you know what dates, work best. I definitely got availability, next month. Most coming up. I know that, there are a couple things in the pipeline. So until they're a little bit more finalized, I'll hold off sharing them, with the family, with the audience. But most recently, coming up on April 5th, I will be at Arlene's Grocery, DJing, Miggs's set. My good friend and family Miggs 718. I'll be DJing his set. So if you really rock with what I do, I know you'll definitely rock with what he does. He was the green-haired guy that was at the show. So
yes, him. I definitely try to connect with him because I really want to have a conversation with him. He seems very interesting.
yeah, no, he's an eccentric personality, and I guess to vouch for myself, if you do rock with anything I do, he's just as genuine, just as out there, just as free spirited, and his music covers a lot of genres as well, similar to mine. So if you want to rock out, sort of see me in a DJ setting, Arlene's Grocery, April 5th. And you'll be able to rock out, with my guy Mix 718 as we sort of, shut down the place. I actually think I just saw he posted. It might be a full house. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, definitely get your tickets. You could. It should be in a link in his bio, I believe. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. If anything, send it to my DMs because I've been telling people because everybody wants me to come because I have showcases that I'm actually going to attend. Like shout out to my homeboy Daylight. He has a showcase that I'm gonna go to in the 30th. I try to go to certain artists that I actually got affiliated with to their showcases because not a lot of people support each other, and I'm trying to be that motivation to show people that it's okay to support people. Yes, it's okay. I'm an R&B singer, but I still go to a rock concert. Hello, okay. I go to a hip hop joint. I don't need to always perform. I can go
music
and chill.
is music. Right?
Yes, that's how you make shit happen. You want people to know who you are, start networking.
That's right.
It's not just singing high notes. No, it's more to that. And I'll be happy to show. Just let me know you got anything going on in my DMs. Give me the flyer. I'll post it on my shit. And we're going to be rocking that shit. I'll promote it on my end. And yeah, just V, this is what's going on. Because, I got how many fucking artists? 48 artists that are in my DM with flyers all the time. So they'll tag me on their reels and I'll just share them. Because sometimes social media don't give me everybody's stuff. So that's why I tell y'all spam away. Go ahead. I don't mind. I'm the one that doesn't mind you spamming.
Okay. I appreciate that. Definitely be swinging anything and everything coming up. I do have a record I'm working on that I want to try to have out in sometime in April. So yeah, definitely. I'll make sure that you're part of the rollout. We'll have a good time. It'll be great. So I'll definitely be hitting.
Yes. Oh, and speaking of relationships, you were talking about relationships. Are you are you single? Are you single talking? Or are you already with somebody?
Yeah. So I'm actually engaged. I'm engaged. Yeah. Been with the same woman. I can't even say girl, anymore because we met when we were 18. I was 18. She was 17. We met in college. The first week of college, and we got together by the third week of college, freshman year. And we've been together since for 7 years. Got engaged in July. And we are set to be married July 3rd, 2025. I made sure to memorize because I know she'll kill me if I forgot. So
you know it, cause shit, I have to be telling my partner, so you better.
I gotta have my dates down pat. If I don't, I'm not eating tonight. She cooks good food, so I'm excited.
Lesson 101, y'all. You hear that, right? He's not gonna be in a doggy house. He good.
Yeah. Make sure you know your dates. Dates birthdays, anniversaries. If you got those two things, you're fine. You're good. You're good.
Yeah. How is she doing with your music career? Like
She's doing great. She's been supportive of it from day one. You
Mhm.
know, when I did my first open mic on campus, you know, she sat front and center. And so that attitude has never left. No matter how big the show gets,
Mhm.
she's always front and center, videoing, rocking out, you know, telling, you know, people about me, getting the crowd going because she knows these songs. There she is right there.
Yeah.
I see. I got you. I got you. I can't
It's
forget.
on camera. Don't worry. It's recorded just in case you try to play that. I forgot.
Crazy. Crazy. But yeah, no, she knows these songs by heart because she hears me when I'm writing them. So I'll be working on the writing for like, you know, over and over and over again. Then I'll mix it and record it over and over and over again. And then I'll rehearse it over and over and over again. So by the time it gets to the show, she knows these songs. So she'll be in the front
Mhm.
row, screaming the certain words and the callback and responses that I have, and it gets the crowd engaged. So, you know, she's definitely my rock and one of the you know people I rely on most when it comes to this music career. She's also you know, an actor, a model, a rising and aspiring author. She's working on her book. So you know, she got a lot of hats too, and we definitely support each other through all our dreams and our endeavors.
Oh, do let me know when she starts putting out, anything that she's got going on too. Let's also
Well,
represent wifey. Look at that. Look at that. Okay.
we try to do the power couple thing, you know.
Yes, look at that. Teamwork makes the teamwork. Okay.
That's
And
right. That's
especially in
right.
a partner. The relationships, people don't understand that, being out there and doing what we do and then actually having a relationship
Yeah.
besides business relationships or
Mhm.
family, but having
Yeah.
an actual partner that gets you is very rare, you know.
Very.
And it's nice to see and hear that because I too have the same thing.
I
I'll shout
see
out to
you.
mine.
Yeah.
And been super supportive towards my career as well. He has a career of his own, and we support each other and partnership and everything. And that's what it's about. It's about
Yes.
that. And it's nice to hear that you have that. It's
Yeah.
good to have all kinds of support, but it's different when it's your own partner, you
That
know?
yeah, no, it's very rare, and we remind ourselves of that, you know, each and every day. You know, obviously being in, you know, a long-term committed relationship, you know, there's certain days that could be tough. You know, not every day is, you know, sunshine and rainbows. You could see them at their lowest, and you got to be willing to, you know, love them through it and pick them up, and all that sort of thing. So when we came to the conclusion that we realized what we had was rare, you know, we stick to it through thick and thin, no matter what. So
Yes.
she's my partner till the day I die. You know.
Keep strong. Keep strong. I'm sending a lot of blessings to both of you. Always keep
Yeah.
strong as a couple, as a power couple in the business, because this business can really try to separate you, and don't allow it to. Don't
Hmm.
allow it to consume you. Don't allow it to make judgments to you two in your relationship.
Hmm.
Don't ever allow someone to even in the business to
Hmm.
interfere in your relationship, because it's not going to go well. And trust me, I have my fair share. But see, the thing is that the love that you have for each other, it has to be as one. And I'm
Hmm.
super proud of you both. Sending my love. And I'm about to play. My dogs agree too.
About to say. About
Uh,
to say.
I'm about to play the track that I played before because I we was like not really listening to it. So I'm gonna play it for you. We're gonna about to get time. Let's go, guys. This one is called. This was the last one was Unchecked. If y'all don't understand, it's on YouTube. Follow him on YouTube. Everything is on my screen. And when life hits you, we was just talking about that. and get in time with it. It's actually a really good hit song, and I hope you like it. Let's go.
Let's go explore it again. We gotta go find that village. We gotta see what happens to it. 'Cause
It might not be playing. I can't.
When life hits you like
Tell you the truth, I don't know if it's special. Only you're gonna know that.
I had to run that shit back. Hold up. Me and
You're gonna take one beat, take one chance, get knocked out. You're gonna get up, and you're gonna see if you got the right guy,
when life hits you like better watch out for your job. It'll be the best shot that you saw. When life hits you like when life hits you like best protect your neck and jaw. When you fall, they're all apart. When life hits you like when life hits you like you won't see me coming, face you can't escape. So while you're running, something like a bullet, I'm supposed to gun it. Can't pull the trigger when I already done it. Love it or hate it, I'm losing patience. That's just what keeps me motivated. This sleeps a cousin, so they're related. You can stay asleep if you the piece the day to save it. I'm no longer the person I was. At the base, start joking above. You see, you lost my respect, so I'm not touching the gloves. The thing is, I'm usually peaceful, but believe when push comes to shove, I no longer believe that we equals. You'll find out that I'm not the one. Better watch out for your job. It'll be the best shot that you saw. When life hits you like life hits you like knock me out. But if I'm not dead, then you better believe I'm gonna get up again. As long as I breathe and I got this end, cause I'm fighting that creed and said it's the end. Instead I got nothing left. I never accepted my L, my hell, I've been put to the test. I was never born with the nest on my chest. I had to fight, climb, scream, just sit with the best. I've earned my stripes, had to learn to fight. Who are you to judge? You ain't earned the right. I did overnights on top of overnights. Despite that, you act like you owe this life. Nah, you don't know this cost. This life is earned through struggle and loss. Everybody wants to become the boss until they learn what it means to take charge. You'll be in the ring and all the dome. If you lose, you're on your own. But if you win, they bring the throne. That's what they know. When there's nowhere you can go, don't you flinch and don't you fold. Stand there toe to toe. When I pick you up, better watch out for your job. It'll be the best shot that you saw. When life hits you like when life hits you like best protect your neck and jaw. When you fall, they're all apart. When life hits you like when life hits you like.
Hey, what?
Yeah.
I thought I came back in here again. She was like, yo, what is that one? That's a new one too.
That's awesome.
I love her. She's like, yo, that shit is cool.
You know?
Yes. Y'all know how it is. And last but not least, what is the best advice you can give people out there that is trying to pursue this career or any type of career? Because it's not only just about what we do. There's a lot of different type of artistry that nobody understands. That's
right.
And they need that motivation. And I feel like you have something to say to the world, and you have a lot to say. I've seen your reels. Like I said, I want you to look into this camera, and we're live worldwide right now. Tell them your advice to them for you to let them know what it's like to be an artist. Give them their best advice you can give.
Yeah, the best advice I could give, and it's been a lifelong journey. For myself, even I've been working on it every day. And I'll continue to work on it. And that is be unapologetically you. never apologize for being who you are, and who you're meant to be and who you want to become. Growing up, I was afraid to be myself. I was afraid of judgment, was afraid of ridicule, and to be honest, rightfully so, because the times that I did share my authentic energy, it wasn't received in the way that I would have wanted it to be received. And so that sort of put me in my shell. But one of the best things that I have learned in the past really 2 years, on this musical journey as it's transformed, more so in the past 2 years than anything other, is to really be unapologetically you. You will find the people that will, accept you for you. You will gravitate towards and pull in people who think similar to you, or even if they don't think, oh, even if they don't think similar to you, they could challenge you in a way that pushes you to become a better person. You will receive the energy that you put out into the world. I think that's the truest thing I've ever learned. So yeah, just no matter what it is, no matter what you want to do, just be unapologetically you. If you got to be less of yourself to be more for somebody else, then that somebody else isn't worth it. You should always be your fullest self at all times. So that's my best advice.
Hey, with that, sorry about that. I was trying to put you only in the screen, but
No
you know,
worries. I was like, I my Oscar moment.
No
Wrap it up.
way. No. I was trying, let me see if I could do it. Let me see if I can. Yay, I did it! Yay!
I know you did it. Hi, Mom.
Listen, I'm still learning how to use this damn StreamYard because I had got extra shit for it. But the layouts be twisting my eyes. Like, wait, why is this like this? So,
Yeah.
so I'm glad I can do it. Yay! I did it. Okay, now I know how to fucking do it.
Hey, you learn something new,
Hell yeah. At least I learned it with you, because shit, I was trying to figure that shit out. Technology today. It's been such a pleasure and an honor for me to have you on here, Voices of an Artist. And I want you to know this is your another home for you. Oh, you're always welcome to come here with your peoples. They can always come. Your musical family. You can bring them on board if you want to ever come and hang out. Just say, hey, bossy, can we just like have a whole chill moment, And we could do it and listen to other people, artists and stuff. Because I'm actually gonna do segments where I want to go over people's performances, the do's and don'ts, to see where they feel like they need to work on and stuff like that. And it's always good to get good opinions, and that's what I'm here for, artist development.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to take you up on that. This has been a very, great experience. I love when, it feels like a conversation. Rather than just like an interview, it feels like a conversation coming together. So I really appreciate you, and grateful that you've opened up your community to myself. So thank you.
Always. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming and chopping it up with me and talking some shit. Yes, we're gonna talk more shit soon, y'all. So we're about to be out. Y'all need to follow him on all platforms. His IG is right there. No, it's KNOWTE, _ worthy. If you don't know how to spell it, it's right there. Screenshot it. Do your thing. And who you rocking with? No, let me hear it. Who you rocking with?
I'm rocking with Bossy, and it has been a great and phenomenal experience. Amazing person, and I'm just excited for all things to come, and to be part of your world for as long as possible.
My world is like my casa, su casa. All right, y'all, we out. Later.
Love y'all. Peace.